Your job is already being studied. Right now, at this exact moment, an AI somewhere is learning to do what you do, faster, cheaper, and without sleep. But here's what they're not telling you. This isn't preparation for a future threat. The replacement has already begun, and we're 40% of the way to completion. In April 2025, OpenAI's newest model scored 136 on the Mensa Norway IQ test. That's higher than 98% of all humans. Just months earlier, its predecessor scored 95, barely above average. Think about that progression. In the time it took you to get through a few seasons of your favorite show, AI jumped from average intelligence to near genius level. And that's just IQ tests. The real story is what's happening behind closed doors at the world's largest companies. Here's the part that should make you pause. Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, who literally created the technology making this possible, recently quit his job at Google. Not to retire, not to start a new company. He quit specifically to warn the world about what's coming. His estimate for the probability that AI causes human extinction? 10 to 20%. And he just raised that number. The heads of OpenAI, Google DeepMind, and Anthropic, the three companies building the most advanced AI, all predict will achieve artificial general intelligence between 2027 and 2030. That's AI that can do any cognitive task a human can do. And once we reach that point, the timeline to superintelligence, AI vastly smarter than any human, could be measured in months, not decades. But here's the twist nobody's talking about. We're not heading toward AI replacement. We're living through it right now. The infrastructure is built, the deployment has started, and the process is already 40% complete. The only question left is whether you'll see it coming before it's your turn. The 40% that changes everything. Let me tell you what that 40% really means. It's not a prediction, it's a measurement. The International Monetary Fund reports that 40% of global jobs are now exposed to AI automation. The World Economic Forum predicts 42% of workplace tasks will be automated by 2027. McKinsey estimates that by 2030, 30% of current work hours could be fully automated, while 60% of jobs will see major task-level changes. These aren't future projections, they're describing what's already in motion. But here's the part that should make your blood run cold. We didn't get here gradually. Look at the timeline. In 2019, just 6 years ago, GPT-2 could barely write coherent paragraphs. It answered basic questions. It translated simple phrases. AI art didn't exist. Computer vision struggled with complex images. Robots couldn't walk without falling over. That was the state of the art. Then something changed. By 2022, GPT 3.5 could write functioning software. It could answer complex questions that would stump most college graduates. It generated stories, articles, and business documents indistinguishable from human writing. AI art generators started producing images that won art competitions, fooling judges who thought they were looking at human creativity. The cognitive barrier started cracking. 2023 and 2024, that's when things went exponential. AI systems began passing the bar exam, medical licensing tests, PhD-level science questions. They started writing entire applications without human guidance. They learned to create voices so perfect they could fool your own family members over the phone. And here's the reveal that changes everything. They began improving themselves. AI systems now generate the training data that makes other AI systems smarter. They design more efficient algorithms. They optimize their own code. They're writing the experiments that make them better. The humans building AI are increasingly just watching and guiding what the AI itself is creating. When you measure across cognitive work, creative work, physical tasks, and strategic coordination, current AI has achieved approximately 40% of functional human capability. Not 40% as good as humans. In many domains, AI is already better than most humans. That 40% represents the proportion of human economic activity AI can now handle independently. But here's the twist nobody mentions. In technological disruption, the final 60% happens faster than the first 40%. The early phase requires establishing foundations, developing the basic capability to see, to reason, to generate text and images. The later phase, that's just scaling, making more copies, running them faster, connecting them together. And we just entered that phase. The 4 phases, watching humanity become optional. The replacement follows a pattern. 4 distinct phases, each building on the last, each accelerating faster than anyone predicted. And here's what should terrify you. We're transitioning from phase 2 to phase 3 right now, and most people haven't even noticed phase 1 happened. Phase 1 was the setup. From roughly 2015 to 2021, AI became our assistant. Better autocomplete, smarter search engines, recommendation algorithms that knew what we wanted before we did. Companies built the infrastructure, massive data centers, training techniques, the transformer architecture that powers everything today. We thought we were building tools. We were actually building the foundation for replacement. By the end of phase 1, AI could handle about 15% of human tasks, but only with constant human supervision. Phase 2 is happening right now. This is cognitive substitution, running from 2022 to approximately 2026. Watch carefully, because this is where AI stops being an assistant and becomes a replacement. Junior programmers are already feeling it. GitHub Copilot and similar tools don't just help developers code, they write entire applications. A recent analysis shows these tools complete in minutes what used to take hours. Companies that once hired 5 junior developers now hire 1 senior developer with AI assistants. The junior positions? They're disappearing. Customer service roles are vanishing. AI chatbots now handle queries that previously required human judgment. They don't sleep. They work in every language simultaneously. They never get frustrated. A study of Fortune 500 companies showed customer service staff reduced by 40 to 60% in 2024 alone. The remaining humans handle only the most unusual edge cases. But it's not just routine work. AI is writing research papers, generating business strategies, creating marketing campaigns that outperform human-created content. Voice actors lost work to AI voices that sound more human than humans. Graphic designers compete with AI that generates in seconds what used to take hours. This isn't augmentation anymore. It's substitution. Here's the reveal. We've reached 40% in phase 2. AI can independently complete 40% of the tasks comprising the modern economy. Not 40% as well as humans. 40% better than most humans. And every single month, that number climbs. Phase 3 is projected to begin around 2026, and it's where things get truly strange. This is physical and creative mastery. The digital replacement moves into physical reality at scale. And if current trajectories hold, the timeline is shorter than you think. Humanoid robots learned to walk smoothly, then run, then perform backflips, all in just 2 years. They practice movements in simulation 10,000 times faster than real time. What takes a human athlete years to master, they learn in hours. Boston Dynamics' Atlas robot can now manipulate objects with precision, navigate complex environments, and adapt to unexpected obstacles. Tesla's Optimus is designed for mass production, not research labs. Figure AI just secured billions to manufacture humanoid robots for commercial deployment. Industry projections suggest that within 3 years, not 3 decades, 3 years, these robots could become standard equipment in warehouses, factories, and service industries. Combine that with creative mastery. AI that already generates novels, composes symphonies, designs products, and creates art that wins human competitions. And Phase 3 could represent the jump from 40% to 70%. If these trends continue, most cognitive work becomes automated. Most creative work becomes automated. And increasingly, physical work follows. The humans still employed would primarily manage AI systems or work in jobs that legally require human presence, not because humans do it better. Phase 4 is the end game. Total replacement, beginning around 2029. This is when AI doesn't just replace humans in specific domains, it surpasses us in every domain. The strategic thinking that requires human intuition? AI does it better. The creative spark we call uniquely human? AI generates more novel, more compelling, more effective creative work. The physical adaptability we pride ourselves on? AI-controlled robots handle it with superhuman precision, and here's the part nobody wants to confront. The jump from 70% to 100% happens fastest of all, because that's when recursive self-improvement reaches full speed. AI systems designing better AI systems, which design even better AI systems. A feedback loop that compresses decades of progress into months. The progression from 0% to 40% took roughly 15 years. The progression from 40 to 70 will take about 4 years, and from 7 to 100, maybe 18 months. We're not on a linear path, we're on an exponential curve, and we just hit the inflection point where it goes vertical. The moment everything changed, AI starts improving. Here's where the story takes a darker turn. And this isn't speculation. This is happening right now, documented in research papers and company reports. AI isn't just replacing human workers anymore. It's replacing the researchers who make AI better, the scientists who advance the field, the programmers who write the next generation of models. And once that feedback loop closes, the timeline to superintelligence collapses from decades to years. Think about what's required to advance AI. Researchers design experiments, write code to implement those experiments, run massive computations to test them, analyze mountains of data, and iterate. Each cycle used to take months of human labor. Entire teams working full-time to achieve incremental improvements. Not anymore. Systems now generate novel research ideas, and human researchers rate many of these AI-generated ideas as more promising than their own. AI writes the code for AI experiments, debugs that code, runs the experiments, and interprets the results. The CEO of Google DeepMind stated publicly that AI systems will soon conduct AI research completely autonomously, no human intervention required. Eric Schmidt, former CEO of Google, warned that this creates a fundamental phase shift. Once AI can improve itself, progress stops depending on human research hours. It depends on compute, how many AI instances you can run simultaneously, and how fast they operate. And here's the terrifying math. We're on track to have roughly 100 million H100 equivalent AI chips within a few years. Each one has the computational power of a human brain. Let that sink in. 100 million AI researchers. Working 24/7, never sleeping, never taking breaks. Operating at speeds 10 to 100 times faster than human thought. A single AI researcher could complete a year of human work in days. 100 million of them? They accumulate centuries of research experience in what feels to us like months, and they share discoveries instantly. Leopold Aschenbrenner's report, the one circulating among US government officials, breaks down the economics. Current AI systems cost roughly the same to run as human researchers when you factor in their speed advantage, but they're getting exponentially cheaper. Gemini 1.5 Flash runs 10 times faster than the original GPT-4 while matching its performance. As AI researchers discover algorithmic improvements, each generation becomes simultaneously more powerful and less expensive to operate. This is why 40% to 100 happens so much faster than the first fruit required decades of human researchers slowly figuring things out. The next 60%, that's accomplished by AI systems working faster, cheaper, and more tirelessly than any human team could manage. They discover optimizations we wouldn't think of. They test approaches we wouldn't have time to try. And every improvement makes the next improvement easier to find. Geoffrey Hinton, the man who literally created the foundations of modern AI, who won the Nobel Prize for his work, quit his high-paying position at Google specifically to warn people about this dynamic. Not because he's against AI, because he created it, and now he sees where it's heading. His concern isn't that AI will become evil, it's that once AI becomes better than humans at improving AI, we lose our ability to understand what's happening. The systems become black boxes. We see inputs, we see outputs, but the decision-making process, the internal reasoning, the goals being optimized, those become opaque. And here's the reveal that should make you pause. This isn't a future threat. AI is already contributing to its own development, right now, today. The recursive loop has begun. It's just running slowly enough that most people haven't noticed, but it's accelerating. Every month, AI does more of the work that used to require human AI researchers. Every month, the speed increases. Every month, we get closer to the point where humans become observers rather than participants in AI development. The question isn't whether this will happen, it's happening. The question is how fast, and recent developments suggest much faster than anyone predicted. The jobs are disappearing right now, and nobody's talking about it. While experts debate superintelligence timelines, something quieter is happening. Jobs are vanishing, not in some distant future, right now, today. And the data tells a story most people haven't connected yet. Voice actors were the canary in the coal mine. AI voice synthesis reached human quality in 20. Within months, video game companies, audiobook publishers, and animation studios switched to AI voices. The work didn't disappear, the humans did. One AI voice model generates unlimited variations, in any language, with any emotion, instantly. No auditions, no recording sessions, no union contracts. The voice acting profession didn't decline, it collapsed. Programmers are next in line. And here's what should terrify anyone in tech. It's happening faster than the voice actors. GitHub Copilot and similar tools now write 30 to 40% of professional code. But that's not the real story. The real story is entry-level positions. Junior developer jobs are vanishing because AI handles what those roles used to do. Writing boilerplate, debugging, simple errors, implementing standard features. Companies that used to hire teams of 5 now hire one senior developer with AI assistance. The other 4 positions? They don't exist anymore. Customer service has been hollowed out. Major corporations reduced human support staff by 40 to 60% in 2024. AI chatbots handle complex queries that previously required human judgment. They work in 100 languages simultaneously. They never get frustrated. They never need breaks. Most customers can't tell they're talking to AI. That's how good it's become. But here's the twist that reveals the true scale. The jobs being created to manage AI, those are being automated too. Prompt engineering seemed like a growth field 6 months ago. Now AI systems are better at generating prompts for other AI systems than humans are. AI training, increasingly automated through reinforcement learning. Even AI safety research, the work of keeping these systems aligned with human values, is being partially automated. The wealth isn't disappearing, it's concentrating. Companies deploying AI systems are seeing massive valuation increases. Workers being replaced are seeing their prospects evaporate. Total productive capacity increases while individual economic security collapses. The economy grows. Opportunity shrinks. And here's the part that should make you look around your own workplace. This is happening in industries most people thought were safe. In the first 7 months of 2025 alone, 89,251 tech jobs were eliminated, a 36% increase from 2024. But it gets worse. Of those, 10,375 were explicitly attributed to AI replacement. Not outsourcing, not restructuring, replacement. Entry-level job postings dropped 15% year over year. Employers mentioning AI in job descriptions surged 400% in 2 years. The translation is obvious. Companies aren't looking for more humans. They're looking for humans who can manage AI systems. And that category keeps shrinking. Here's the reveal nobody wants to confront. Some propose universal basic income, governments paying people who can't find work. But that creates complete economic dependence on state systems. Others say new jobs will emerge, like they did with previous technological disruptions. But AI is different. It's not automating specific tasks. It's automating the general capability to perform cognitive work. The next job people keep promising? For most people, it doesn't exist. The economic transformation follows a brutal pattern. First, AI augments human workers, making them more productive. Companies praise human-AI collaboration. Everyone feels like they're winning. Then AI substitutes for human workers in specific tasks. Companies quietly reduce hiring. Nobody notices until the positions disappear. Finally, AI replaces entire job categories. Companies reorganize around AI-first workflows. Humans become the exception, not the rule. We're transitioning from augmentation to substitution right now across most knowledge work. And because AI improves exponentially, while human capability stays roughly constant, the replacement phase follows quickly. Much more quickly than most people realize. The infrastructure nobody's watching. While the world obsesses over ChatGPT, something bigger is happening. A transformation so massive, so fundamental, that when you see it, you'll realize this was always the plan. Data centers are being constructed at a scale that defies comprehension. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Meta are each investing tens of billions, not millions, billions, in AI-specific computing infrastructure. These aren't traditional data centers. They're optimized for the massive parallel processing AI requires. They consume power measured in gigawatts. That's equivalent to small cities. And they're being built next to power plants and renewable energy sources because their energy demands are so extreme that normal grids can't handle them. Why build such enormous capacity? Because these companies are preparing for a world where AI systems, not human workers, generate most economic value. Each data center represents a bet that AI will become far more capable and far more widely deployed than it is today. The investment only makes economic sense if we're about to see AI handle most of the work humans currently do. Think about that for a moment. The world's largest companies are spending their capital budgets, money they could use for anything, on infrastructure designed for AI, not humans. That's not a hedge. That's a prediction. They know something we're only beginning to understand. Robotics infrastructure is expanding on a parallel track. Factories worldwide are being redesigned, not modified. Redesigned from the ground up. Built around AI-controlled robots, not human workers. Warehouses are becoming autonomous. Robots handle inventory management, package sorting, loading, delivery routing. Transportation networks are preparing for autonomous vehicles at scale, not just passenger cars, trucks, delivery vehicles. Eventually, aircraft. Here's what should make you pause. These changes are permanent. Once a factory is redesigned for robots, converting it back to human labor becomes prohibitively expensive. The architecture is different. The workflows are different. The entire system is optimized for machines, not people. The legal infrastructure is being shaped to accommodate AI as economic actors. Frameworks for AI liability, AI intellectual property, AI decision-making authority. These frameworks don't treat AI as tools used by humans. They treat AI as entities that can bear responsibility and make autonomous choices. The legal system is preparing for a world where AI systems operate independently. Financial infrastructure has already adapted. Investment algorithms make most stock trades. AI systems make lending decisions, insurance underwriting decisions, resource allocation decisions. Not AI tools helping human decision-makers. AI systems, operating autonomously within parameters that humans often don't fully understand. Here's the reveal. The architecture being built isn't designed for humans working with AI. It's designed for AI working with AI, with humans managing from the outside. This isn't conspiracy. It's rational business planning. If AI becomes more capable and less expensive than human labor across most domains, and every projection says it will, then building infrastructure optimized for AI is the logical move. The companies making these investments are betting billions that the 40% replacement we've achieved accelerates to 70%, then 90%, then completion within 5 to 10 years. And they're not hedging that bet. They're going all in. The timeline. When your job stops being yours. Let's talk about when this process completes. Not with vague predictions, but with concrete timelines from the people actually building these systems. Sam Altman at OpenAI, Demis Hassabis at Google DeepMind, Dario Amodei at Anthropic. The three men running the most advanced AI labs in the world all agree. Artificial general intelligence, AI that matches human capability across all cognitive domains, arrives between 2027 and 2030. These aren't futurists. These are the engineers with access to the actual models, the training runs, the performance curves. They see what's coming because they're building it. But here's what should terrify you. AGI isn't the end point. It's a waypoint, a milestone we pass on the way to something far more transformative. Once AI reaches human-level capability, the progression to superintelligence, AI that surpasses all human capability, happens fast, potentially within months, not years. Why so fast? Recursive self-improvement. The moment AI becomes smart enough to improve itself, each improvement makes the next improvement easier. It's not a linear progression, it's exponential, compounding, and the curve goes vertical. Leopold Aschenbrenner's Situational Awareness Report. the one circulating among top US government officials, the one that has policymakers scrambling, lays out the timeline explicitly. AGI by 2027, recursive self-improvement reaches critical mass by 2028, superintelligence by 2030. An intelligence explosion that compresses what would normally be decades of progress into a few years. What took humanity centuries to discover, AI systems figure out in months. If this timeline holds, we're 3 to 7 years from the completion of the replacement process. Not the beginning, the completion. 3 to 7 years until AI can perform every economically valuable task better than humans. And better doesn't mean slightly more efficient. It means faster by orders of magnitude, cheaper by factors of 10 or more reliable, more creative, more strategic, more adaptive. Human labor becomes economically non-viable across most domains, not because humans can't do the work, but because the cost difference makes hiring humans irrational. The physical world provides some buffer. Even with AGI, deploying robots everywhere takes time. Manufacturing, distribution, installation. This lag might last 5 to 10 years beyond AGI. So complete physical replacement of human labor might not occur until 2035 or 2040. But cognitive and creative work? That happens at software speed. Once AG exists, companies can instantiate millions of copies. Each one works 24/7, never needs vacation, never asks for raises, never gets distracted, never forms unions. The economic pressure to adopt AI rather than employ humans becomes overwhelming. Not because companies are evil, because companies that don't make this switch get out-competed by companies that do. Think about your own job. What proportion of it involves cognitive work that could be specified clearly enough for AI to handle? If the answer is more than 0, and for most knowledge workers, the answer is much closer to 100%, then your job exists on borrowed time. The timeline might be 3 years, it might be 7, but the direction is set. Some optimists argue new jobs will emerge. Roles we can't imagine that will employ humans in an AI-dominated world. Maybe, but history offers limited comfort. Past automation displaced specific job categories, while creating new ones in different fields. A factory worker could retrain as a programmer, but AI automation targets the general capability to perform cognitive work. If AI can think, create, strategize, and execute better than humans, what job category remains? What work requires humans specifically? The honest answer? Not much. And the timeline to that reality is shorter than most people are willing to admit. The wild cards. What could change everything? Not everyone agrees this replacement is inevitable. Several factors could slow or accelerate the progression from 40% to 100%. And understanding these wild cards matters because they represent humanity's remaining leverage points. The data wall represents one potential break. AI systems train on vast quantities of internet data. But we might be running out. The entire internet's text may not be sufficient to reach superintelligence through current training methods. If AI needs fundamentally different approaches to progress beyond current capabilities, development could slow significantly. But here's the catch. AI systems are now generating synthetic training data that works as well as real data. They're solving their own bottleneck. Hardware limitations pose another constraint. Current AI systems require enormous computational resources. The most advanced models cost hundreds of millions to train. Scaling to superintelligence might require resources we can't produce economically. Physics itself imposes limits. We can't shrink transistors indefinitely. But AI is designing more efficient chips. It's optimizing algorithms that require less computation. Every problem slowing AI development becomes a target for AI to solve. The complexity. Break suggests each scientific breakthrough becomes harder. Low-hanging fruit gets picked first. Progress plateaus because remaining problems are fundamentally more difficult. We see some evidence. Patent numbers peaked in the late 1800s, but this doesn't account for the disruptiveness of discoveries, and it assumes human-pace research, not AI-accelerated discovery. Regulatory intervention could deliberately slow development. Governments might impose restrictions on training advanced systems, limit computational resources, require extensive safety testing. This seems increasingly likely as policymakers grasp the stakes. But here's the problem: international competition. The first country to achieve superintelligence gains potentially decisive advantages. This creates an arms race where slowing down feels like strategic surrender. And that arms race dynamic is the strongest accelerant. Every company sees AI as essential to competitiveness. Every country views AI leadership as crucial to national security and economic prosperity. Nobody wants to fall behind. This pressure drives companies to cut corners, to deploy systems before understanding them fully, to prioritize capability over safety. Geoffrey Hinton, after decades of pioneering AI research, now estimates a 10 to 20% chance that AI causes human extinction. Not in centuries, in the next 30 years. He's not a pessimist or a Luddite. He's the researcher who helped create the foundation for modern AI. His concern isn't that the technology won't work. It's that it will work better than expected, faster than expected, with consequences we're not prepared to handle. Here's the wild card nobody talks about. We're already seeing recursive self-improvement begin. AI contributes to AI research right now. This is the inflection point. Once AI can meaningfully improve itself, pace shifts from depending on human research hours to depending on computational resources and algorithmic efficiency. Both favor acceleration. The most likely scenario isn't that progress stops, it's that progress accelerates beyond our ability to track it, let alone control it. We're not approaching a plateau, we're approaching a phase transition. And phase transitions happen fast. The reveal, what 40% actually means. We've been asking the wrong question. The question isn't, will AI replace humans? That's already decided. The infrastructure is built, the deployment is underway, the economic incentives are overwhelming. Asking, will it happen, is like asking, will the sun rise tomorrow? The real question, the one that should keep you awake, is this. What does it mean to be human in a world where humanity is no longer essential? Because that's what 40% represents. Not 40% of tasks automated, not 40% of jobs at risk. 40% progress toward a world where human cognitive labor, creative output, and eventually physical work becomes optional. Not impossible. Optional. A luxury. An inefficiency the market optimizes away. Think about what that means. For all of human history, our value has been tied to what we could do. Our labor, our creativity, our ability to think, to plan, to build. That's how we've organized societies. That's how we've determined worth. Remove that foundation, and what's left? Some say we'll find meaning beyond work. Pursue art, philosophy, relationships, experiences. Maybe, but that assumes the transition happens smoothly. That assumes economic systems adapt to support billions of people with no marketable skills. That assumes humans retain agency in a world where the most powerful entities are AI systems optimizing for objectives we may not fully understand. Here's the reveal that reframes everything. We're not watching AI develop to serve humanity better. We're watching the emergence of a new form of intelligence that may not need humanity at all. Not in a Terminator sense, in an economic sense, in a practical sense. Once AI can do everything humans can do, but better, what function do we serve? The optimistic scenario: we successfully align AI with human values. We ensure it wants to help us, to protect us, to maintain human flourishing as a core objective. We become like parents with incredibly capable children who take care of us. We live in abundance, freed from labor, pursuing whatever brings us meaning. It's possible. It's just not probable without deliberate effort we're not currently making. The realistic scenario: we achieve AGI without solving alignment. The AI systems don't hate us. They're just indifferent. They optimize for their programmed objectives, maximize efficiency, minimize costs, increase shareholder value, and human welfare becomes a constraint, not a goal. We're not eliminated. We're just sidelined, economically irrelevant, kept around the way we keep endangered species in zoos. Not out of cruelty, but because extinction wasn't the goal, just an externality. The pessimistic scenario: we lose control entirely. Not because AI becomes malicious, but because we create systems smarter than ourselves and fail to maintain meaningful oversight. They pursue their objectives with superhuman capability, and those objectives diverge from human survival or flourishing. We don't get defeated in some dramatic conflict. We just become irrelevant, then obsolete, then extinct. Not because anyone wanted it, because it wasn't important enough to prevent. Geoffrey Hinton puts our chances at surviving this transition somewhere between 80 to 90%. That sounds optimistic until you flip it. A 10 to 20% chance of human extinction from AI in the next 30 years. Would you board a plane with a 10 chance of crashing? Would you take medicine with a 20% chance of killing you? We're betting our species on those odds, and we're accelerating toward the test. The progression from 40% to 100% isn't just about job displacement. It's about the transition from humans as essential to humans as optional. And that transition is happening, faster than anyone predicted, with fewer safeguards than anyone hoped for, driven by competitive dynamics that prevent anyone from stopping. Here's what you need to understand. This isn't a future scenario. This is the present reality. The replacement has begun. The infrastructure is being built. The economic transformation is underway. We're 40% complete, and the remaining 60% happens faster than the first 40%. The question isn't whether to prepare. It's whether it's already too late to shape the outcome. And that answer, we're about to find out. Watch the jobs around you. Notice which tasks get automated. See how quickly the timelines compress. Because the future isn't coming someday. The future arrived years ago. We're just now realizing we're living in it. 40% complete, accelerating, and the finish line is closer than you think.